Building a great team culture, it doesn't just happen by accident, right? It's something you have to do intentionally. And in the complex, high stakes world of modern procurement, it's absolutely the secret sauce that separates a simple cost center from a true strategic partner. So let me ask you a question right off the bat. Is your company's culture really your team's culture? Now, most of us would probably say yes, but I want you to pause and think about that, because the answer, well, it's probably not as simple as you think. Here's the deal. A modern procurement organization has become its own unique beast. It's so big, so specialized, that it can't just absorb the wider company culture and expect to succeed. Nope. To really perform at a high level, it needs its own culture, one that's built with purpose. So that's what we're going to break down today. First, we'll talk about why procurement is so different. Then we'll dive into the 3 pillars you need to build on: obsessing over your stakeholder, building true accountability, and finally, cultivating talent with real purpose. First up, let's really dig into why just going with the company-wide cultural flow, well, it just doesn't work for procurement teams anymore. Just look at the sheer scale of what these teams are handling now. I mean, the days of procurement just being about buying pens and paper are long gone. Today, you're managing everything from services and travel to super technical IT and telecom contracts to raw materials and even complex maintenance and repair operations. This incredible diversity means you need a very specific cultural mindset to manage it all. Okay, so keeping all that complexity in mind, let's build our very first pillar: obsess over your stakeholder. This is the bedrock. A truly high-performing culture isn't navel-gazing, it's looking outward with a relentless, almost fanatical focus on service. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? If you are not obsessing over the stakeholder, you increase the opportunity of failure. Let that sink in. That's not a friendly suggestion, that's a serious warning. Your entire culture has to be designed to prevent that failure by deeply understanding the people you're there to help. So how do you actually do that? Well, it all starts with listening. And here are 3 incredibly practical ways you can get started, like tomorrow. 1. Virtual open doors. Just a monthly call where anyone can jump on and give feedback. 2. An online idea form. Make it super easy for people to tell you what's broken. And 3. A listening tour. Actually, schedule time to sit down with different business units and just listen to their problems. It's about opening up the communication channels. All right, so once you have that outward focus locked in, it's time to tune up the team's internal engine. Let's move on to pillar 2, build true accountability. Now, it's so important that we get this definition right. Accountability isn't about blame. It's not a witch hunt when things go wrong. It's about taking ownership of the results, the good and the bad. And, crucially, it's also about recognizing what is and what is not in your control. That distinction is a game changer. I love this image because it really captures the whole picture. True accountability is this mix of owning your commitments, having the courage to make decisions, and then accepting the consequences, whatever they may be. It's a whole mindset you have to build. And here's your roadmap for making it happen. First and foremost, you have to lead by example. It starts with you. Then get your team to actually say their commitments out loud. It makes them real. You've got to have regular check-ins where people can talk about progress and ask for help. And this last one is huge. Set crystal clear expectations. Never, ever assume everyone knows what you're thinking. And that brings us to our 3rd and final pillar, which is all about building for the future. Cultivating talent with purpose. So here is a paradox that I'm sure every leader watching this feels deep in their bones. Training budgets keep getting smaller, but at the exact same time, one of the biggest problems we all face is a massive skills gap. So how on earth do you solve that? Well, you do it by being incredibly strategic. See, the goal isn't just more training. It's about making sure your organization has the right people with the right skills at exactly the right time. It's about developing your team with a clear purpose that's tied directly to where the business is going. And this framework is a brilliant, simple way to start. I mean, you can't fix skill gaps if you don't even know where they are, right? So use a simple scale like this. Is someone a beginner, basically starting from scratch? Are they proficient, meaning they have some experience but still need help? Are they competent, working on their own? Or are they advanced, so good they could teach it to others? Getting this clarity lets you target your efforts where they'll make the biggest impact. So let's bring it all home. When you build a culture on these 3 pillars, obsessing over your stakeholder, building real accountability, and cultivating talent with purpose, that's when the transformation happens. That's what elevates your team from being seen as just a tactical cost center to becoming what you really are, a powerful strategic driver of value for the whole company. And that leaves me with one final question for you. After hearing all of this, what is the one cultural change you are going to lead? Because remember, building an amazing culture always starts with one person making one intentional choice.